Hello, everybody. Welcome to 11 Questions.
Oh, boy.
This is the mayor of Calgary, Alberta, Gerry Forbes, retired from CJ, now going into the Canadian Broadcasting Hall of Fame. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, no accounting for taste, eh? Fantastic.
Could have been worse. They could have asked me.
We're going together.
Yeah. Okay, so 11 questions. The rules are there aren't any rules. You can say no to one question, but
All right.
you may not like what's coming after.
Okay, I imagine.
So first one I want to ask you is, what the hell happened the night at the CJ booth for Aerosmith? I got a late call by a mutual friend, and I was kind of shocked because I just walked in and then all hell broke loose. Tell the folks what
Well,
happened.
there'd been this girl that was sort of following me on the radio named Claudette. We won't say her last name. And she would show up and she would buy everything. She'd bid on everything that was CJ. She'd get in on, donate tons of money, and then we had a contest where we had the CJ booth along with Calgary Sun, and she showed up, and I guess her husband or boyfriend couldn't make it, so you were invited,
right?
And you came in as her guest. So as she came into the booth where Aerosmith was playing, my wife was standing there. I was in between her and my wife. And she came in a black mini skirt and very little up top.
No, she had lots up top.
She had lots up top, nothing, not much covered. And grabbed my head and just put it between the two coconuts and said, "Baby, baby, baby." And my wife, Shelley, came over and whacked her one right in the head, sent her for a loop. I ran and hid in the can like a baby. It was unbelievable.
Well, imagine how I just saw it.
That was your date.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that date.
Honey, what are you doing?
That was the best part, because next day on the air, you go, "Hey, what about Mike Lownsbrough's new girlfriend?"
And I hid like a little baby in the can for like 20 minutes to see what was going to happen. And finally, Shelley just moved to the other side, and that girl went and sat down, thank God.
Well, I would too if Shelley was mad at me.
She's got a good right hook.
21 years with Miss Shelley.
Yeah.
Who's been more surprised than this?
Probably Shelley.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought, the first couple were a little dicey because of what I do on the radio and stuff, and she sort of got used to it, and when she got used to it, she was fine. And then the family, they were horrified when she married me, and they just went, I'm not really the guy that I am on the radio, so I had to prove that to the family, but then the family took me in, the two other sisters got divorced, and I'm still a reigning champ. Yes, sirree.
Who's the most famous person you got on your phone that you could call right now?
Who have I got on my phone that I could call right now? I've got Jeff Garcia. I think we all have Jeff Garcia on the phone. That's a great question because, I probably have 5,000 people on my phone, and that's my phone ringing right now, probably. I've got a lot of famous people. Bob Saget, how about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A different cat to what you see on that goofy show and his stand-up comedy.
Oh.
Unbelievable. And I love him.
And a very kind guy.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. Yeah.
I love his humor. Describe your personal relationship that you've got with Don Henley of the Eagles.
That's not so good. So when I first came to CJ, I'd only been there like a couple of months, so I didn't really know the boss. He didn't know me. And the Eagles were coming to town on April Fool's Day. So I decided what I would do is try and put a promotion together to raise some money for the food bank. So I had an idea that with Jeep Eagles, I could bring them in, and then I'd try and find a guy at a dealership with the name Don, a guy with the name Glenn, and see if I could put this together. So I called around, finally found a place, and I told all the listeners that the Eagles were going to come and perform in our parking lot. So everybody immediately thought it was the rock band coming in. Everybody, we had 500 people. Tony Spolotini's out there cooking sausage. About 500 folks show up, and they're there 3 hours early before the show starts. So they came at 4 in the morning, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't expect this many people. And then TV cameras showed up and everything else, and people brought all the food for the food bank. I think we raised about $5,500 for the food bank. And then everybody's just waiting. I said, the motorcade is on the way. This is going to be the greatest morning ever. And then I had these Jeep Eagles come up, and I said, ladies and gentlemen, please, the Eagles. And Tony and I are clapping, and nobody else was clapping. It was like a look of horror on their faces when they realized what day it was. It was April Fool's, and they got a kick out of it. The Eagles didn't think it was that funny. They stopped the concert, and they said, what kind of an asshole would pull this off? And I was there. Yeah, there I was in the box, and I'm like, oh, good start at the old radio station. I've been here a month. But we ended up raising $5,500, and the paper said Gerry raises $5,500 for the food bank. The Eagles take $1.5 million in Bolt. So I ended up being one of the best things I've ever done.
If you were a single man, would you have sex with Rachel Notley?
Oh, Now, I have sort of a connection to old Rach.
Do you?
She went to school with my brother at Osgoode Hall. She's a lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, was she a popular? And he goes, no, same way she is now.
So would you rank her up there ahead of Judge Judy or B. Arthur?
No, Judge Judy would be a rioting bitch.
She'd
You
be a
kidding me?
rocket, eh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She'd have the gavel there, just letting it go.
You'd have to pay for that in Vegas normally.
Absolutely. She'd have the gown on. It'd be fantastic. They don't pay me because I'm good looking. They pay me because I'm funny, she says. Yeah.
We'll go with that. Judy.
Yeah.
Biggest prick you've met in the media business?
Mike Bullard, hands down. Had him on, and the CTV was doing a big thing saying, we have to treat this guy with kid gloves. He's our big star. He does our late night show. And he came on the show, and before he came on, I said, we're going to get along great because we're two fat bald guys. And he just did not like that at all.
Oh, really?
And then I had it catered, and he said, I had my barbecue place, Booker's cater it. So it was a bunch of ribs and chicken and stuff. And he comes in and he says, did you have that ribs and chicken because my band leader's black? And I went, you just said it, not me. And the interview went downhill from there, and I called him an asshole and told him to get off. And then I called my buddy who was emceeing at Cowboys that night, and they booed him off the stage. It was great.
The most unfunny show in the history of
you
late night TV.
sir, you're a garbage truck driver. You must, your wife easy to pick up too. That's the worst jokes, right?
Yeah.
He was horrible.
It was horrible. Just a brutal show.
And then, of course, he
brutal.
had his little indiscretion there in Toronto, and now he's on a station in Mississauga somewhere.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
See, a lot of people in our studio audience thought Don Stevens was going to come out of your mouth.
No, you know what? Don and I ended up being buddies. We've had our ways. Don and I had a couple of fights along the way. I replaced Don in Toronto, and I'm sure that didn't make me popular with Don. But after that, we got over that, and we got to know each other back in Calgary. First couple of years were a little rocky, but we ended up being buddies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Craziest thing you've done on air? What do you think that is? Or have we talked about it already?
No. I mean, I've done a lot of them. I don't know. I think probably when I had 1,000 pounds of cow shit dumped on me out front of Moose McGuire's, we had the mad cow crisis, the BSE crisis.
Yeah.
And we brought in a crane in a dump truck and it had 1,000 pounds of shit. And they brought it up in this crane and dumped it on me in the parking lot. I wanted to show that the beef wasn't going to hurt anybody if I can roll around in a bunch of steer shit, right? So covered in that, even found a hotel where I could go have a shower, which was amazing. Thank you, Village Park Inn. Yeah. But no, once again,
they dumped fresh cow
shit from a crane, 1,000 pounds of it.
Well,
and
that hurt.
it did hurt, yeah.
Oh, you idiot.
Yeah, I've done a lot of things that hurt. I go, I shouldn't have done this. Yeah, so that was probably the stupidest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Well, going through a car wash with you, we used to have a little TV show on Global there, and I went through a car wash with scuba gear on, and we, like the two idiots we are, forgot to measure, so I could have been decapitated and be sitting here with no head.
But you look good. Who has a job in the media that shouldn't have? Or is Mike Bullard still the guy?
And Mike Bullard's still the guy, yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's tough for the kids, right? They've taken these kids now right out of state where before you used to have to, go to a small town, learn your craft to come up. And then they throw kids like some girl came to interview me in a bar one time and she couldn't come in because she was underage. And I found that pretty funny. One of the reporters from Global, I go like, well, the student inside her, she goes, I can't go in. I'm not of age. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, but you're in the media.
Yeah. You got to go in. You got to go in and drink.
You got to earn your dues, pay your dues.
Yeah.
Who's the best interview you've ever had?
Best interview I've ever had. You know what? The one that was the most surprising to me was Tom Green.
Yeah.
I thought that he'd be a real tough guy to interview, and I prepped the hell out of it because he pulls tricks on everybody, as you know. He ended up being the nicest, most genuine guy. He was just a great interview. So was Bob Saget. It was a great interview.
Yeah.
I've never really had a problem with anybody. Maybe just Kenny and Spenny.
Yeah.
They were kind of, there wasn't a lot going on there. But other than that, I've never really had, and people won't remember this unless you're 100. J.J. Johnson, you remember from Good Times? He was just a complete asshole.
Really?
Oh, just a complete asshole. Yeah, that was another interview. If they're bad, I just stop them and just kick them out.
Yeah.
Just go like, I mean, I know you don't want to be here, neither do I, but we're doing this to promote your career, so if you don't want to be here, then get the hell out.
What happened with the girls in the Honey? Maybe, what was that one?
Oh, we had a lot of good things. We've had so many bad things we did. We had a guy come in and he bikini waxed his grandma. So came in and poured hot wax all over her.
Oh my
her
God!
Foo-foo, and then did a bikini wax on her. I had another guy give his buddy a prostate exam, so he had to bend his buddy over the table and shove his finger up the back. And this is all on YouTube. And I had Another one where
Well, what did they win for that?
they won. It was a draw to win $10,000. You didn't win anything. That was the funny thing.
Jesus Christ.
Then we had a couple of beautiful young ladies from Cowboys come in, and the dare was to eat I think it was either a pint or a quart of honey out of the other one's ass. So we did that, and they came in and
Off it or out of it?
well, we poured it right down there. They had to dive right in, and sure enough, all my buddies from the Calgary Stampeders showed up for the shoot. It was fantastic.
Really? Tell me Burkdale wasn't there.
Well, he might have been.
Yeah.
Full disclosure.
Who is your biggest influence? Because you come across a little like Howard Stern.
Yeah, you always get that.
Yeah.
I tell you the truth, never listened to Howard Stern. I didn't
Is that
know.
right?
I didn't
Okay.
know Howard Stern before I came on the radio. I know who he was, but I never actually listened to the show. I just sort of found my way. I just I thought, I want to be really outrageous, and I want to do things that nobody else does, and I want to push the line. And I'm going to get in a lot of fights with program directors, which I did all the time. But we just did some really stupid things, and it seemed to work. And we stayed on top for a lot of years there, and managed to last 25 at a radio station, right? Which
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah. Would Billy Powers be the funniest guy you worked with?
Yeah, absolutely. That guy, he doesn't, his vocabulary is jokes.
Yeah.
You can't just have a conversation with Billy because the joke's going to come up.
Yeah.
Extremely funny guy. Jeb Fink also was quite a funny guy. Dave Kelly, well, he's doing well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on daytime TV and Ellen.
Well, Ellen hired him. When Ellen hires you, you're doing okay.
I think so.
And you interview the president, you're doing okay.
Yeah.
I sent him a nice note and got a nice note back from him. He's a very nice guy.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that. So we've got a show coming up that we're going to try. We haven't got a name for it or anything, but it's going to be interesting. We've done some work before. And what do you think?
Well, I don't think we should tell them what we're going to do, but it's
Okay.
going to be extremely outrageous. Lots of guests, lots of fun, and stuff that you're certainly not going to see on the tube.
And maybe a chance to win nude pictures of B. Arthur. We can only hope.
I think with Betty White still around, she'd still be go.
Actually, that's the sad thing. I mean, there was, how people send, hey, check this out.
Yeah.
And so you click on it, and here's nude pictures of Betty White from the 50s. I mean, think of it.
How deep did you go in the internet?
No, they just,
yeah.
it just comes to you. It just, you know what it is? It's like,
Stop now. Stop now.
brother, always fun. Yeah.
Always fun, Michael.
Yeah, we'll look forward to this. This will be
Thanks
fun.
for the beer.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you,
bet.
Wild Rose.